Hello everybody. In this video I just want to talk about swapping out this radio for a new one here. So I've had this radio for about, I don't know, 5 years or so. It's been okay or whatever. It does what I want it to do with, having a GPS and having the option to watch YouTube or anything else on there or surfing the web. However, that comes with a lot of problems that I've had recently. And I'll just go ahead and show you guys some of that right now. And as you can see, this radio is not turning on. The Phoenix Automotive, it's lit up here, but nothing is coming on. You're gonna just have to restart the car just to get that to come back on. So that's another pain in the butt with this Phoenix Automotive Tesla style vertical screen. Here's another issue with the radio. A lot of times you get the system UI isn't responding, but you still can't even close it or wait or anything. It's just frozen. And the only way to reset that is just to turn your car off and on. And even if you turn it off, you've got to wait a little bit for it to get reset. Also, here's another issue with this Phoenix Automotive radio. You cannot save presets anymore from the Sirius XM radio. You can do it for regular radio and some songs on your USB stick or something, but not the Sirius XM for some. So one of the biggest issues I've had with this is that every time you open the door or any of the doors of the truck here, the radio will come on and it'll slowly just drain your battery if you're not aware of it. You always have to come into your car, turn the key to the on position, and then turn it off so that the radio will go off. Many times I've drained the battery, it wasn't recoverable, and the battery was just bad, so I had to always go back and get another battery, a brand new battery, spend a lot of money on that, and that happened a couple of times. So this radio, with all the problems that I've had, even their customer service wasn't so great. I haven't even been able to get this climate control fan button to work at all in this. So this has been giving me a lot of issues. So I'm glad I came across something from Autotech Pro, also quite similar, Tesla screen style or whatever. But this is a much newer model, faster speed, and supposed to be a lot easier, user-friendly solution here basically, and I shouldn't have any more problems compared to my old one. So I'm excited to try this out and install it. Now I'm not going to show you guys an install video of this because there's one already existing for this from Autotech Pro actually, but I will go ahead and show you guys the steering wheel control with the wiring and all of that because that wasn't explained in their video. But after that, then we'll just come back and kind of show you this and explain how this all works and how it looks in the Chevy Colorado. And in this case, mine is the 2015 model with the BOSE system, the BOSE sound system that a lot of people seem to have as well or question about. Now really quick here guys, they give you all of the cables that you need to install, so you shouldn't be missing anything. So check the link in the description of how to install it if you guys need that as far as the connections and everything. I just want to only talk about real quick the SIM card holder here. Just look for the cable that looks like this with the blue connector and the SIM card holder there. Basically this is made for a probably larger SIM card size than you probably have. For example, this one is mine right here from Google Fi. It's a data only SIM card. And so what you're going to need is you're going to need to get an adapter like that, which I'll put a link in the description, I guess, if you guys want. But basically, these are this nano SIM adapters, comes with various sizes and a little tool here if you need it. But yeah, you're going to need one of these in order to fit your small SIM card into that. So let me go ahead and install that. Basically, you just need to take your SIM card and lay it into the cavity or the slot in here like that, kind of press it in there like that, and then basically you'll just slide it with the contact side down obviously onto those contacts and then close and slide this closed, and then you're good to go. So there you have it. I have it on there inside of the adapter, fits perfectly. Just kind of close that and slide it shut so that it's locked in there, and it should be good to go. That's all you need to do for the SIM card here. Obviously just go ahead and close it like that, and you see how it says push? That's how you open it. So just push in the opposite direction just to close that door shut, and you're good to go. Another thing I like about this radio from Autotech Pro is that it's very slim in the back. So I do put another radio behind this radio here, a GMRS radio. And so because this is so slim, I'm still able to fit everything in there. So this is slimmer than the previous one. So I'm still excited about that. Nice and skinny and slim and everything. So if you're into something that's very slim, doesn't take up much space back there inside the console, this is it. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is take the steering column cover off. Right here, there is one bolt that you need to remove underneath the column. It's this big, it's not too big, and it uses a 7mm socket. So once you take that off, you should be able then to take this off. So I have a few tools that I'm going to use. One is a butter knife. I have a couple of these other plastic cell phone screen remover tools. We'll see if those work. I'll try the plastic ones first, see how easy it is. So there's this crack that you can get the tool to slide into, and hopefully lift it up. Well, actually I see some clips, so I'm going to hold it open with this blue tool and try to use my butter knife to maybe help pry that off. Okay, just slide that in deep and just slight lift up, and that came off quite easy. Let's see how it is on this side. You can kind of find a spot where you can slide it in there. See, it doesn't seem to come off too hard. Let's lower the column. Looks like it's really lifting up easily. Okay, that was not too bad. It is loose now. We have to figure out how to get it off. So you'll need to take this off in order to attach your steering wheel column cables. The issue is this windshield wiper stick that you have to somehow finagle it off of there. Kind of wiggle it and pull it through there. There you go, there's that. But as I was mentioning, these clips are super easy to pop on and off, it looks like, since they're pretty flexible here and they're pretty wide open. So there's three, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the right side and just 2 on the left. The left side was a lot easier to take off. Okay, so now you can see inside the column. The next one that I want to install is the steering wheel wire harness. It is the steering wheel harness that looks like this. Has a shorter cable here with a long cable coming through, and this smaller connector will connect into one of these connections here on the wire harness that we installed first. There's either key 1 or key 2. Now to choose which connector you're going to use, you'll have to try both of them to see which one of those connections will actually work with the head unit with your steering wheel controls. But first we'll at least route it through. So we'll take the connector off of the column here, looks like that, and slide that into the female end of the connector from Phoenix, and then the other one, the male connection goes back into the column. There you go. Simple as that. See how we can tuck that down. Now this extra wire is going to have to go through the column and back up through here, but that looks pretty easy. So we'll get out of the vehicle. Okay, so now I got the wire through the back there. I'm going to try to bring it up through this hole. Might be good to get a coat hanger. So with the coat hanger, I'm going to take a hooked end through here, down through the bottom where I can reach this cable, and you can see this split between the 2 wires. You'll just have to be careful when you're pulling it that you don't break the connector off. And then you can just pull it straight through like that. So that made it quite easy, and I'm just going to plug it into one of these right now so it doesn't get lost or go back down through there. All right, we are back into the vehicle in the 2015 Chevrolet Colorado after the install. I showed you guys how to install the radio control buttons underneath here in a previous video. That video still applies here. I just wanted to show you guys that because Autotech Pro did not show that in their installation video of the wire harness and everything. But for everything else, just go ahead and look in the description because you'll see the link that I posted there, how to install it. And then there'll be a few other links in there, how to use and use all the features and what do all the settings mean. One other quick thing, there's a couple of antennas. There are these long strip antennas right here, this one, and the other one I put horizontally here. So that one's vertical, this one's horizontal. I think these are the 4G antennas, at least that's what they said in the video. And then we have the GPS one here. So they said that you could probably just take these flat ones or whatever and just lay them somewhere inside of here. The GPS, I think more or less you do want to have it out like that so that it's out in the open and then, you know, gets really good satellite signals. Otherwise, you know, if you're on Wi-Fi or 4G, I believe that you'll still get a good signal on your GPS location, but it's going to be using your data than our internet. So a few things to say about the installation here. At least this has a very easy installation. There's less cables or less wire harnesses that you have to connect to from the OEM radio. And there's just basically a couple of them, I think, and then a third one for the display. But everything is pretty seamless. They give you everything you need and you don't need to unplug anything from that Sirius XM radio back there, for example. And so that made everything really easy. And I'm so glad that this does not turn on when I just open the door. So now my car is not going to die. My truck's not going to die when I open the vehicle and forget to make sure that the radio is turned off. off because the radio previously came on every time I opened the door. But the Autotech Pro so far is perfect. Love it. Thank you guys. So this is basically how the radio looks in your vehicle. It's a little bit higher than the original one. It extends a little bit higher, maybe about an inch, and then it just goes down and covers the old panel where your climate controls are. But I like that it's a little bit bigger here, you know, a nice sleek look, and that it's not recessed. It's pulled out a little bit so your fingers are not like kind of in a recessed hole or anything. Everything is very easy and it's very, you know, good sensitivity here. You're not like trying to push and it's not recognizing your fingers or something like that, but this is working pretty good so far. You do have to install your vents by yourselves. I mean, these are the original vents. They're pretty easy. Use a butter knife to kind of open the tabs or whatever. That way you can pull the vents out of the old one and then you can just clip them into the new one. Autotech Pro's video will kind of show you as well things to pay attention to get a nice good clip or seal into their unit right here. You kind of just have to cut or remove some material on one of these vents, but other than that, it will fit perfectly. These right here, you can see these are recessed. I didn't punch them in all the way. I just wanted to show you guys that these come out. You screw them in on both sides, just 2 screws. The rest of them are tabs that fit into the old slots. And I'm kind of leaving it loose because I'm debating whether or not to paint this black or not. Autotech Pro mentioned that it would be something that they would look into, but right now it only comes into this silver glossy color right now. There's a couple different views here on the radio. You can do the homepage style of classic, which is what you see here. You kind of just have, you know, these quick buttons up here, quick access up here. And then you have maps and then the console. Whatever music you have will be shown up here. So right now I had the console, the original OEM one. But let's just say you had music from a USB player or Bluetooth or something, or Apple CarPlay, whatever, this will show up here. And by the way, the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is wireless, which is nice if you use that. I don't use it because I have no point in using it, because I just prefer, you know, why use it if I have the maps on here, I have whatever I need basically on here already, the calls and whatever. So I don't use it, but some people really love the feature, the Car Auto or the Android Auto. It's available, it's wireless, it works great. I've tested it out. And so if that's your thing, you're gonna love it. Okay, so I was showing you guys the settings of the homepage. Let's go quickly to the modern style. I got carried away there because I was kind of explaining the other homepage. So this is the modern style. Let's go home. Kind of set up more like your phone or tablet screen, right? You can swipe left or right and put physical apps here, right? Go to your settings. If you want to put an app on the screen, hold it down, click and drag, and you can just slide it in there like that. Again, the console, this is whatever music you have playing last. This is my USB. You'll have your calendar still. Other apps, you can do widgets, which is nice. So I like this one. You can change the wallpaper, which that's going to be another video. Basically, you can download from the Play Store wallpaper app, or you can just put wallpaper pictures or pictures in general on a USB stick and then upload them from there. What's nice here is you also have more of a classic look, just ease of use for if you're familiar with an iPad or your phone and you want to keep things like that. So I tried that for a day or two. I kind of like going back to the classic style instead, because I really like dark mode, just easier on the eyes to have the dark lights and everything. And since I'm driving and not using my phone or tablet, it's nice just to have the important things as widgets basically anyway on the screen like that. But you'll always still have your apps anyways. At the bottom right corner, select whatever app that you want to open. So YouTube works great, for example. You just have to hit the source button here on the radio, on the steering wheel, and make sure that you have this auxiliary thing plugged in down here at the bottom. They showed you this in the video. This thing pops off. It's a little bit of a struggle, but it'll pop off. Just try not to break it. Just be careful. Just easily like kind of pull and it'll just pop out, and then you can pop it back in once you've routed the wire, which it routes down here behind here, and then back and under. There's a little bit of a hole here. It's perfect spot for it, but that auxiliary cable will fit perfectly in there. So you got to have that if you want to listen to things from the Internet Explorer or the YouTube, for example, on here. Some things I learned about the climate: you have basic controls down at the bottom, and by the way, you have the volume here if you want. This temperature, I guess once you click in here, by the way, the climate, the main screen comes up, right? There's no temperature over here because the Colorado only has one setting for the temperature. There's no left and right here, so that one will just be ignored. It doesn't work. You can turn on or off the climate fan basically here, which is nice because that was not working on my other one. And then turning it left or right will change the temperature setting. So let's go ahead and open it up again. I had to figure out how to get the top vents and the bottom vents to work simultaneously. What you have to do is hit the mode button. Right now I clicked it. It's only for the legs. Hit it again. Now it's the legs and the defroster. Hit it again. Now it's only your face, and then hit it again and you'll get both. So at least you don't lose any of that. You'll have any combination of how you want your air conditioning or heating to come on. Obviously, all of these are self-explanatory. I don't really need to go through there. Oh, look, and it just goes away automatically. So that's nice. You don't have to, when you're driving, you don't have to think about going back down here at the bottom. It'll just go away on its own. The heat, I think, these are the seat warmers. These do not work, but you have the original ones down here at on the original console anyway. So they're right here. They'll still work. You don't really need to have the ones up here, I suppose. You know, you're not losing anything. It's just some of these might be more readily available in other vehicle models anyway. But in the 2015 Colorado that I have, I don't have that option on the screen anyway. They're always here. To access the console, here you can see console, the original, when I say console, I mean the original OEM settings or screen. You can click there, or down here at the bottom, you'll see console. If you click that, then you will see the original setup basically. If you remember, your Colorado has all these original apps like this. And you know, if you want to listen to the audio, you've got everything here, your FM radio, AM radio. One thing I noticed when I click on, let's see, I have Sirius satellite radio. I do pay for it. The problem is I cannot save any channels. I couldn't do that previously on the other one. I was able to at the beginning, and then it somehow stopped. I don't know why, and I don't know if it's related to, let's just pick a radio station. I don't know what it's related to. Maybe it's the Sirius XM guys I got to talk to, but I contacted Autotech Pro. They said this is not really related to their system. It's more related to the radio system, not the actual interface. So maybe Sirius XM has an update or problem right now that they're going through, that you are not able to save presets or stations. So is annoying, but you know, at least it's still available. So that's just something I have to look into myself. But anyway, yep, original OEM settings. If you just want to drive around like that, that's totally fine. You still have all your, you know, your media, your Bluetooth connects to their OEM radio, and this thing, the unit itself, also has a Bluetooth connection. So you could have two phones or two people Bluetooth into here, one person on the OEM, one person on the actual aftermarket radio here from Autotech Pro, especially for with the Android Auto or the Apple CarPlay, for example. Anyway, all of the original like climate settings are down here at the bottom if you want to have your defroster on, if you want to run it from here instead of from here. See, as that automatically turned on anyway. So everything is seamless and works pretty good together, and everything is so quick. I just love that. Everything is just smooth and there's no hiccups at the moment. Let's take a look at the reverse. When I put it in reverse, it automatically came up. Here I just have the tailgate down on my truck, but at least you can see there. You have settings over here if you want to change the color, signal types if you need to adjust the signal type from your vehicle. I have it on auto because that's just what worked at the moment. Mirror settings if you wanted to mirror the way it looks. And I don't really know what the speed threshold without entering the reverse enter whatever. I don't know. I just have it off. Don't really need that, I guess. But anyway, put it back in park here. But it automatically comes up, and that's nice. You know, if you wanted to go to camera, which is somewhere cam, you have to have those auxiliary cables in the back that you plugged in. You have to have a camera signal going into those. And I don't have that. I don't have an aftermarket camera like in the front or something. So that's not going to work for me. But for you, if you have that, you can add that. And I just saw this. Just go to the ambient line. That's how you change the colors of these knobs. I have it on green right now. Turn on. Maybe it only works if I have the lights on or something, but yeah, I think that's generally how it works. But that's how you can change the colors if that's what you want. I like green. I left it as green. We'll go back. All right, so what's nice is that you can customize the apps up here. Play Store, YouTube, whatever other apps you might download, app 2, 3, 4, 5, you have options there. This is new for me, so I haven't really added more things. Maybe I'll add weather. Weather on here, by the way, was somewhere. I saw it on the actual homepage, actually. So if you like to have weather on there all the time, do the original one, and you'll see the weather here. Let me close apps. I see it's starting to maybe get a little bit slow, and we'll go back to this here. But I could add my radar, for example, as an app up there, just to always have like a radar open up on here, which would be nice. It depends what you like, but everything's customizable. For me, that's something useful for me. See what, if you're driving, if you're going to be driving into some weather or what. But yeah, you can download anything like YouTube. Let's say I do YouTube, you can listen to YouTube videos, podcasts, things like that. Web searches, if you want to search on the web for certain things. Like here's Amazon, for example. It works even when you're driving. I love that it's got 4G. I mean, I do use my Wi-Fi when I can, even hotspot, but let's just say I'm in a hurry. I don't have time to connect to the Wi-Fi, which by the way, you can just go here to System Network, and for the Wi-Fi, I want to make sure that my Wi-Fi turns on automatically. Now I've had that turned on before. I don't know why it sometimes turns off by itself, but I hope it saves and stays like that. But otherwise, if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can just run off of LTE or 4G. And I'm using a 4G SIM card, a data SIM card from Google Fi. And I had a signal here, but when I just wanted to test it out, it wasn't working. Like nothing was showing up on the Internet Explorer, and I couldn't figure out why. But after like 5-10 minutes or something, then everything started working. So I think, you know, don't get worried or anything. Once you have your SIM card properly connected, like I showed you earlier in the video, then just give it some time, 5-10 minutes or something, to make a connection to your cell phone provider. And then you should have internet with that as well, as long as your SIM card is active and working. Okay, so don't freak out. You'll be fine as long as you have a valid SIM card. It'll work. Oh, also, just in case you couldn't get it to work, your SIM card, by the way, go to settings here and preferred network type. There's a lot of options here. The one so far that worked best for me is just choosing LTE, and I think that's really all you're able to get anyway with this thing. These might be for other countries, I believe, but choose LTE here in the United States. That should work great for you. Everything else I left on as standard, and we're fine. So you do have to pay for that data probably with your service, like I do, $10 per gigabyte, but you know, I don't use too much of it. If I am, then I'll probably connect to the Wi-Fi hotspot or something off my work phone. That's free anyway. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. A lot of this is self-explanatory. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds, but if you guys have any questions or comments on this, how to access something or change something, let me know. I mean, you have APK installers. You can add a lot of apps. There's weather, by the way, that I didn't mention. I forgot to show you earlier, which is nice. I love the weather there. And changing your music settings, your bass, frequencies, mids, all of that. So if you guys have any more questions, without me making this into too deep of a video, let me know. Check the description, because Autotech Pro makes really good videos of how to do the install. They also show you how to change the wallpaper more in depth, and Autotech Pro goes deeper into all of these settings. So I don't want to make a duplicate video on that. Go ahead and check their video out. It'll be in the description. And I think I'll make one more video about this awesome radio. I'm going to try and pick 5 top features that I love about it, and then I'll share that with you. Maybe that'll help you guys as well. And you know, really show you guys how awesome, how great this cool system is for your vehicle. It makes driving a much more improved experience, I would say. So see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.